I saw. I'm live. I just technically went live now. I saw that. I gotta look more if Avi made that statement. That's an interesting statement that they think it's hollow due to its gravitational influence. I mean, really, it's hollow? That is kind of odd. I have to say, that's another oddity. It's showing characteristics of being hollow. That's what Avi said. I gotta confirm that. I don't know, Chris. I need to confirm that before going off the rails. You know what I mean?
I think we've already gone off the rails.
Oh, yeah. I know. Don was talking about it last night on the show with Gary and Mark. There's another comet, though, that's going to come a lot closer. It's you just look up the Swan comet, and you'll see about that one. And it's bigger. It's
where's it coming out of? What's...
It came from behind the sun. They see it. But this thing is definitely coming closer to us.
How close is closer?
I don't know the exact numbers, but that's what they were talking about on the show last night. I got to do more research into that. Just look up Swan 2025 comet, and you'll find it.
Jesus Christ. I'm getting a little... I wonder if these comets... I don't know.
You know what? My friend Genghis in chat, he made an interesting comment. Is it going to become now the norm that we're going to have more of these kind of objects entering in and being detected? Because it seems like there's an increase in this.
Yeah.
And is that coincidence? I don't know, but there definitely seems to be more of it. The comets or interstellars. I'm like, what the heck is going on? All of a sudden, maybe because our detection is better? The technology is better? I don't know. But it seems like all of a sudden we're seeing more. And more coming in. You know what I mean?
It's the closest approach to Earth on October 20th. That's right around the corner.
And how close?
I'm just reading it right now. It says that Comet C 2025 Swan is
that's it.
The night sky and will make its closest approach to Earth on October 25th, potentially becoming visible to the naked eye under dark conditions.
Really?
Yeah. Magnitude of the early 2025 comet Swan has a brightness of around 6.0 to 6.4, making it potentially visible naked eye, especially in dark skies.
Where?
Binoculars have no trouble spotting it.
Wow.
Location: the comet is currently located in the constellation Libra and will be best visible in the southwestern sky.
Southwest.
For 20th, it will pass within approximately 39 million kilometers, about 24 million miles.
That's close. That's actually close. Hold on a second. Alexa, how many miles is it from the Earth to the moon?
The moon is 234,900 miles away from Earth.
Oh, it's a lot farther. It's lot farther. The moon is 230-something thousand miles away. So, still, it's astronomically close, but not that close. It's 24 million miles.
How far is the moon?
Put it this way. It's at least 100 times farther than our moon.
Okay.
Because it's like 250,000 miles approximate, times 5 makes a million. And this is 24, so 5 times 20. Yeah, about 125 or 120 times the distance from Earth to moon.
With this comet, there's a potential meteor shower. There's possibly Earth might pass through the comet's trail between October 4th and 6th, which could result in a new meteor shower.
Well, those days are done. That just passed. Because we're the 14th now. I didn't know that because this is just like new. I mean, all these objects are coming in that they're detecting that are new to us. Because this one wasn't detected until the last minute. And it's like, what the heck is going on now with all this shit? All of a sudden we're getting all this activity.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Isn't that so weird?
It is weird. And the timing. Now, I got to look into that Avi statement because I did get that from, and I don't want to say it because we're live, from a person we know. I'm gonna actually read it. You read it? Did you? You definitely read it, right?
What's that?
The email from the person about that, about the object, Avi Loeb. This is Avi Loeb. Just
Yeah. I read what John. Yeah, what he sent me.
yeah, he said Avi Loeb just dropped a bombshell about the interstellar
Yeah.
object currently passing through our solar system. The math says it's hollow. According to his latest report, 3i Atlas, the third confirmed visitor, has gravitational properties that defy conventional physics. Loeb's calculations, published on October 11th, reveal that this 33 billion ton object measuring up to 46 kilometers across produces gravity so weak it's nearly undetectable. When it passed Mars on October 3rd at 29 million kilometers, remember this comet is coming between 24 million, the one Swan. The gravitational impact couldn't even be measured. For context, that's equivalent to 5,500 Great Pyramids generating almost no gravitational pull, a physical impossibility for solid rock or ice. The smoking gun lies in the rotation data. Loeb analyzed how 3i Atlas spins every 16.16 hours and compared it against the object's mass and diameter. The calculations don't add up for a solid object. Either significant empty spaces exist inside, making it hollow, or it consists of unknown material with density far below anything humanity has encountered. So there is some weird, again, characteristics being detected. And dude, we talked about this. The ESA, they had the Mars Orbiter, they had the Mars Express, they had instrumentation, they had spacecraft that were checking out Atlas, and we're not getting nothing at all over a week later. What the hell's going on, Chris? What the hell is going on?
It doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
Because
It doesn't. You would think, again, NASA, because of the shutdown, whatever the excuses is. Okay, we're not getting no information data from NASA. But you're telling me the ESA, they don't have a shutdown. They don't have that. Where's their information? Why aren't they coming clean? And this is why people go crazy with theories and speculation, because we're not seeing any information coming out.
here is an independent thing, and this is what concerns me. I get a thing called the debrief. You ever heard of the?
Yes.
All right. So, 3i Atlas is displaying surprising new activity as scientists liken to a note from another planetary system. So they're saying that this comet is marking the first time hydroxyl gas water chemical signature has been observed from an interstellar visitor. So, I mean, why is this so much different from another comet? Researchers are growing metals and ceramics. And the depth is unprecedented on Mars. I don't know. But anyways, apparently this comet, from what I'm reading here, is showing new characteristics they've never seen before.
Yes, and it's spewing a lot of water. A lot of water is being detected coming off.
Now that if it's a comet, a lot of ice. Comets have a lot of ice in it.
Yes, usually yes. That's where you get the tail,
Right. So the spewing of water doesn't concern me.
No, but it's saying it's above normal. It's a lot. They said it was like a fire hose.
Yeah. I mean, you're seeing, I don't know. Well, what I'm concerned about is we're not getting accurate information.
No, we're not getting nothing. A lot of it is speculation because, they're just not putting it out there.
Yeah. What has anybody confirmed Avi Loeb's statement though? Has any scientist come out and said he's right?
No. A lot of people, ever since Oumuamua, a lot of people backed off of Avi's findings, his theories, his hypothesis.
Yeah, because they don't trust him.
They don't believe, they think he's going off the rails taboo type. But again, he's not saying it is. He's just telling you the unusual characteristics, you have to speculate. What if it is not natural? What if? Because of the unusual characteristics it's displaying. I get that. But right away, people think it's an alien probe. It's this. Do you know what I mean? They jump off the freaking rails and they go nuts. Oh, it's an alien probe. It's sending signals. We're sending signals back. It's slowing down. It's changing course. All that. And meanwhile, where is the scientific data?
Well, that's just,
That's it. Where's the science? I can't stand all the BS rumors and all this nonsense. I'm so sick of it all. So I don't put too much mind in it, It's interesting. It's interesting to think about,
you just, like you say, Bill, I think you're absolutely right. I think what you got to say is, hey, you got to wait and see what they put out and then look between the lines because none of them makes sense.
But here's the weird thing, Chris. October 29th is an interesting date because it's going to come from behind the sun and we're going to see it.
Right.
Are they waiting for that to happen and then we'll start getting all the information when they can confirm more?
No, here's what scientists are probably doing. They're measuring it before, they probably measured it before it went behind the sun.
Right.
And then they measure it after.
Correct.
That close to the sun of ice should significantly make it smaller because obviously the water vapors is going to start to melt.
You just said a very valid point. They want to do a complete analysis before the early stages and after it comes from behind the sun and it's continuing its journey and say this is the characteristics it had before, this is the characteristics it have now. What are the commonalities of a comet? Is it doing anything unusual? They're waiting to put the picture better together, the pieces better together, and then put it out there for the public. I think that's what it is. I think you're right. To be honest, I think you're right.
I will tell you this: if it comes back and it's not smaller, then I would start looking at credence toward Avi Lowe's statement.
Yes.
It should very much melt a lot. I mean, if it's as close to the sun as they say it is, right? It's going around the sun and it's close. That thing should significantly drop in weight and size and everything because the water would melt.
Especially if it's hollow.
Yeah.
Now, if it's hollow, what is the gravitational pull that the sun can influence it? Because the trajectory is based on density, speed, etc. But if Avi's statement from a couple of days ago, he's stating that it has characteristics that it may be hollow or it has hollow pockets inside, that means the gravitational pull influence of the sun could change its trajectory.
Sure.
So we have, I think that is part of it. They're still trying to figure out exactly the makeup of this thing, the composition, its density, and how the sun will influence its movement. Because we're basing it on the trajectory right now just based on the stuff that we understand. This might be a situation that we don't fully understand the composition of this so-called comet and what it can or cannot do once it exits the sun. So I think that's what they're waiting for. Because Avi made an interesting statement. You read it.
Well, so, yeah, but let's say it comes past the sun, comes out from behind the sun, and it's the same size.
Again, we have to see the data. We got to see what, and again, what's up, Jay? Another thing too is, Chris, do we trust the data? Do we trust the findings? You know Avi's going to question everything. You know that.
But I mean, if other scientists say, hey, it came around the sun and it's still the same size, because if it's spewing water like it's never had before, you should see a decrease in size. First of all, ice is solid. All right, so for them to say the comet's hollow, look at ice. Ice is not does not have a hollow core to it. It's a comet is supposed to be made of gases, rocks, and ice, right?
Right.
then a comet has gas and ice with the rock. So as that thing is melting because it's spewing water, rock should be falling off from it.
Not only that, if it contained a lot of ice within it, would that indicate, because they said it's spewing water like a fire hose, would that indicate that is why they possibly could be thinking there are hollow pockets inside of it because it's ejecting so much water out of it? Is that the hollowness that they're detecting because it's losing all of its water, ice? Again, yeah, Chris, we're asking the right questions. We just got to get the answers, and I don't know when we're...
You know what, Bill? I don't think we're going to get the answer.
I don't think we're either.
I honestly don't believe that they're going to give us the correct answer.
It's like NASA, never a straight answer. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like the same thing. Are we going to get a straight answer about this atlas? Are we? I don't know. Right now, I got to say no. It doesn't look that way.
I don't think so either. I got to tell you something. I'm kind of concerned about that because, you know, every time there's a problem, we don't get a straight answer.
Yep.
When there's not a problem or they think it's benign, they just like, oh, here it is, and this and that and everything. Look at like what they're saying about Swan.
Yes.
Swan, they're giving you, hey, it's going to be this many miles from the Earth and this and that. I haven't seen the same thing on 3I yet.
You're right. What did you say Swan was going to be? 24 million miles away from Earth on the 20th of October?
39 million miles.
39?
Yeah.
Well, that's far. Right. It's in our neighborhood, but that's still, astronomically, that's far. But close enough to be seen by the naked eye in the southwest, you said.
Right. But are you getting the same data about Atlas?
No.
So what did that tell you?
And who released that information about Swan recently? Is it NASA? Was that before the shutdown? I mean, who's the one that's providing the data for that?
All kinds of scientists.
You know what I mean? Are they part of the shutdown, or are they doing it on their own? Is it something else? Is it the Europeans, or what is it? It's just crazy, dude. It's really crazy.
All I can see is that this Atlas, there's a lot of complications to it. Maybe it's a bunch of hype, but
yeah, a lot of it is hype and conspiracy theories.
I want to see the size of it after it goes around.
Yes, that's what I'm waiting for. October 29th, when we can see it. The Hubble's going to be on it. The Webb is going to be on it. A lot of other platforms, even Earth-based, are going to be trying to look at it, which Mark said that we will be able to. So, yeah, I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting for that date specifically, but I'm going to try. I don't think I'll be able to see it because I can't point in that direction with my camera. That's going to be interesting to see that comet, the Swan, on October 20th, and it's going to be visible to the naked eye. That's actually really interesting.
That is really interesting.
So, anyway, do your thing. Contact the guys. Find out about Thursday.
All right.
And we're going to end up talking about this on Saturday.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
So.
But like I says, is when it comes around, that's when the most important part. And
yes.
If you don't tell any information on it, then I'd be concerned.
Agreed. Call me if you hear anything.
I will, Tom. All right.
And I'll see you tomorrow for iDetective.
All right. Take care.
Later. Yeah, Avi made an interesting statement. Now, he's pretty much by himself talking this stuff. The other scientists are like backing off, like when Avi's talking about, let him talk about it. When, a lot of them don't want to touch it because they think he's a little out there with this. But he's telling you that it has even more unusual characteristics, yet to be proven with data. A lot of it is speculation, but he's saying it almost definitively that be due to its lack of gravitational influence when it passed by Mars. Now, where did he get that information from? NASA? ESA, the Chinese. Where did he get that information from? But that's the statement he made 3 days ago. 3 days ago, he made that statement. So we got to see. We got to see what happens in the next few weeks. But this other comment, Swan, if you live in the Southwest, like in California, Arizona, oh God, you might be able to see it. It's better from the Southwest. That's what they said. On October 20th. Look at I got to do a pre-record in less than 2 hours. Just look up Comet Swan 2025 and you'll find the information about that one if you're not aware of it. So Comet 2025. By the way, I hope you got your lumber and your furniture because as of today, the tariffs are kicking in for lumber and furniture. Just saying, if you're going to buy lumber, buy it now before they really kick in and it affects the stores. It's today. And China called Taco's bluff, and now he's backing down. So China said, what? Because they threw in the rare earth metals now, and the president tried to play this game with them by increasing tariffs 100%. And China said, we're not fucking playing with you. Who backed off? Taco did. Because he knows better. China is one of our largest trading partners. Do you really want to do this? People say, fuck China. Really? No, it would fuck us. People don't realize it. That's how much of a dependency. Now, you can blame putting manufacturing overseas to China. You could blame past administrations for that. Yes. But this is the now. We don't live in the past. And there's some shady shit going on too. There's another shady thing that they closed an investigation on. With Egypt. Because yesterday, when they had thank God, all the hostages that were living were released. But he said something very strange. He's been saying a lot of strange things lately. If some of the things he said, Biden said, they would have mental check. Seriously. Some of the things he's saying, like, he made a post that was bizarre. Biden is the one that put the 200 and whatever FBI people out. Biden wasn't the fucking president. You were. What are you talking about? Did he not remember that? If Biden would have said something like that, they would have been like, what's he talking about? That's how things are different. He gets off on a lot of stuff he says. But he's been rambling and he's been off on a lot of things lately. And people need to pay attention because it looks like his mental capacity is starting to drop too. Everybody was quick to jump on the Biden bandwagon as far as, well, stop paying attention to what Trump is saying and doing. 79 years old. It's starting to look not too good. So anyway, he's there yesterday. He says, yeah, this president of Egypt is like a great guy. And then he mentioned crooked Hillary during the campaign. Comes to find out, there was $10 million. The campaign at that time, the Trump campaign, 2016, was running out of money. Well, there's some weird shit that went on in Egypt. He had a meeting with the Egyptians, and all of a sudden, $10 million showed up in the campaign. And then $10 million in cash, 200 pounds worth, was taken out of the Egyptian fucking bank. American money. Where did that money go to? So, did he get a payment of $10 million from another government, the Egyptian government, during his campaign? What about that? Why would he bring up Hillary at this to bring it up in front of the Egyptian president? I was like, what is that all about? Do some digging. Oh, there was a story about this years ago about that, and they shut it down. There could be something there too. You are not supposed to take foreign money for a campaign. Your campaign, presidential campaign. Imagine he took 10 million for his campaign to put the money into the campaign from the Egyptian government. And then what did the Egyptian government get in return once he was in? Oh, look at those deals. Something is a little afoot with that one. That needs to be investigated. You hear all about the other investigation. Well, why don't we investigate that? There's a lot of questionable shit out there. And people need to be paying attention more closely. I was like, what is he talking about? Why would he bring that up? That's fucking 10 years ago. Is he still bent over that? You better believe he is. But it was a little fishy, but then I did some digging. I said, why would it? 2016 Crooked Hillary campaign, Egypt. And I found it. I was like, what is that? I think it was on the Post in 2016. The Washington Post mentioned it. Well, pretty interesting. And I'm not getting into politics because I don't want to. But very interesting. So again, if you're planning to buy furniture and lumber, get it very soon because the tariffs are kicking in today on lumber and furniture. I believe it's today. And food is just ridiculously high. Everything's going up so crazy. And I'm glad that Marjorie Greene is stating what I've been saying. When you round up all these undocumented people that work in construction and our farms and everything, I own a small business. I mean, I shouldn't say small business. I own a construction business. They're taking all our workers. What's going to happen? She even said that, and she's right. That's the point I've been trying to make. You remove all these people working, not the worst of the worst, but people that are working. A lot of these companies are going to get hurt. And then they got to hire. Let's say legal hiring, which is going to cost them a lot more money to hire people. So guess what happens then? Prices go up because that's going to cost the consumer. So all these people that talk shit, careful what you really wish for. What should have been done is these people are given temporary work visas and strictly monitored to keep them working in essential roles in our country. But right away, MAGA says, oh, that's amnesty. No, it's fucking not. It's temporary. They're doing vital work in the infrastructure to our country. It's so ridiculous how stupid. But it's okay, because everybody's going to pay. Do you know, another one, do you know how many people depend on the ACA? Let's call it Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. More Republicans than Democrats or independents depend on that. That's a fact, statistically. They're more into that than anybody else. So they're going to hurt their own people. Marjorie Taylor Greene is starting to see. I'm actually impressed that she's coming out and stating what a lot of them won't say. And here it is. Well, I don't want to go to this website because people are going to say, oh, that's liberal. I'm sure that the conservative media is not going to talk about it. Okay, here. This is independent. This goes into effect today. Trump's tariffs on timber furniture go into force 9 hours ago. Imports of softwood lumber, furniture, and kitchen cabinets to the U.S. now face tariffs up to 25%. The duties are likely to cause a jump in construction costs in the United States. housing, construction, let alone going into these companies, these construction companies, and rounding up their workers to be deported. Not the worst of the worst. And even Rogan is talking about it. There are a lot of conservative people are starting to pay attention now and say, what the is going on? Well, guess what? I've been saying this for months. As an independent, pay attention, because it's coming to a neighborhood and a home near you. Unless this changes and Mr. Taco backs off, like he did with China, like yesterday. It happens every day. The stock market went back up when he changed his tune, his stance with China. Then the stock, because it dropped on Friday when he announced the 100% tariff increase on China, it dropped. And then yesterday he changed his tune, the stock market went back up. It's like cray-cray. So pay attention. Just that's all I say is pay attention. Don't watch your news media, whether it's Fox or CNN or MSNBC or OAN or Newsmax. Pay attention. Seriously, pay attention. Because you're only going to hear one side of it, whatever you're watching. You're not going to see the whole picture. You have to do your own research independently. Not, put it this way, right now, independents are like 30% in the negative of what's going on right now. It's like that. In some areas, it's close to 30% minus what independents are thinking right now of what the freak is going on. Did food go down? No. Did cost of living go down? No. Everything is going up. Now there's the threat of healthcare to a lot of people. That's a major thing. It's going to backfire on the Republicans because a lot of people depend on it. A lot of their constituents depend on it. A lot of their constituents depend on Medicaid and SNAP. Everybody thinks it's a bunch of liberals and Democrats that depend on it. Oh, hell no. I've said this many times. 6 out of 7 top states that depend on Medicaid from the federal government support are red states. The majority of the people on the Affordable Care Act that sign up are Republicans. Some of them are starting to pay attention and see that it's going to affect our constituents. And they're kind of like seeing now. I don't know why they didn't see it back then, but they're kind of like paying attention now. And the vocal one I can't believe it, but the most vocal one is Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's like she even said it. I've seen the reality now. Well, where were you all this time? Drinking the Kool-Aid? But I'm actually impressed by she's looking at it fairly and objectively, and I've gained respect on Marjorie Taylor Greene on her latest statements coming out because she's seeing it, how it's going to affect her constituents. And personally, as her business, as a construction owner, business owner, she's seeing the effects on herself and other businesses that are getting reamed by the policy. But the other ones are too scared to speak. She's not. Yes, she's in a very, very red state. That's right. But the others are just cowards. They're afraid to speak out. But she's not. And I don't see much pushback coming against her either. I think they know better than to even try to discredit her or denounce her misstatements and all that. They're being careful dealing with Marjorie. MTG's saying a lot of stuff and you're not seeing too much pushback. Because usually you see it. Oh, could you imagine calling her a rhino? Oh my God! One of the biggest MAGA people, you're going to turn around? They can't do that. Oh, she turned into a rhino. Oh my God. No, you people are just cowards that won't stand up on your own 2 feet and do the right thing by your constituents, but follow like the Pied Piper, like a bunch of mice and do whatever you're told. Because you're too scared about your political asses. That's what it comes down to. So I'm really impressed by her statements in a lot of areas now. Because you could look it up. Don't take my word for it. Look what she's been saying. And it's crickets from the Republican House Party. So they're not attacking her. They're not really going after her. They're not saying anything because they're not. Pick a fight with her. Go ahead. Pick a fight with her. That's the worst thing they could do. Because you know what? Then the talk becomes about that. And you know what's the crazy thing? Oh, I don't know. I didn't look at that. How many times are you hearing that now? Well, I don't know the details of that. I have to look into it further. I'm not aware of this. I don't know. You don't know? I'm talking about some of the people in the House, even the vice president. You don't know? So how are you talking about it? How could you say if you don't even know? Have you looked at it? But you haven't in detail. So what the hell are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. But that's their perfect answer to deflect.
For Billy. Trick and typo.
Why? Why? It's the typical answer. Oh, I got to look into that further. I haven't really looked into it. That's the famous line. Oh, I haven't looked into it in detail. I don't know. So there's a lot of shit going on. And it ain't good. At all. And it's funny when I see some of the comments that my friends make. And I understand, because it's a political comment. Total political. Not objective. As I try to be as much as objective as I can possibly be. Not dug into either side, calling one extreme right or extreme left, because it is. They are. But moderate. There's not enough people talking in a moderate way. We need more moderate communication and having discussion and compromise. Not blaming and deflecting. What's going on?
I'm gonna take 2 cigarettes, bro.
I'm gonna cook at 2:30 because I got to do a pre-record at 1:30, and that's for an hour. Then I'm gonna make food so that you could take it to work or you could eat when you get back.
Oh, hell yeah, bro.
Let's see. Let me do. I don't know if I'm gonna find anything. But he backed off. Mr. Taco backed off yesterday. And this is what it was about. It was because he threatened China. And people are like, do you think China's going to really bluff? Do you realize they know they got us by the cojones, especially with rare earth? He had to back off. And he does that a lot. The next front, their trade war, but he said something yesterday that kind of diffused it. Critical minerals. China does have a chokehold on critical minerals, which the Ukraine, we signed a deal with them, which is good. Because they have a lot of it. And that's why politically it makes sense, even though MAGA base doesn't understand it. Because they're Mr. No Wars. There's a lot of critical resources and interests of the United States to invest in Ukraine. You got to see how rich they are in a lot of areas. You would be shocked. Remember back in the day, we need to get the Iraqi oil and all this shit. That's why they wanted to make that minerals deal, because China has and they're in Canada now. They have been in Canada for a long time, but it's because of this rare earth stuff. They control it. He threatened 100% tariffs. The market went down on Friday. Then he backed off, and the markets went back up yesterday because he backed down. So he threatened 100% tariffs and new curbs on all critical software in retaliation. China's ministry announced Friday that it is matching the Trump administration's planned increase to port fees on Chinese owned and operated ships. So they're ready to retaliate. So he backed down. As pretty much I think they expected that he was going to back down. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I mean, if you look at the details, the devil's in the details. Because he's going to meet with Xi in South Korea soon. Oh boy, that's going to be interesting what comes out of that meeting. Publicly and privately are two different things. It's going to be interesting how that one goes. Oh shit. Okay. I'm trying to find it. It's hard to find independent information. And more recent articles. Because which this is an interesting now. Yeah, but that's since 2010. Let me see. This is 7 days ago. Let me see if I can get information. The kitchen cabinets and shit is going up today. Furniture is going up today. It's right here. The other ones could go up if something new isn't announced between us and China by January 1st. But it's 10% tariff on softwood timber and lumber. 25% increase on certain upholstered wood furniture as well as completed kitchen cabinets and vanities. That goes into effect today. I'm trying to find the list. So the main industries that are affected, with the tariffs with China, is consumer goods across the board. Toys, electronics, you name it. Clothing, apparel. Automotive. Vehicles, parts, plus 50% on steel and aluminum. Agriculture, they don't even want to buy our soybean. Metals manufacturing, 50% steel and aluminum tariffs. So it's crazy the furniture's going into today. And we have most of our toys come from China. Clothing, sneakers, shoes, appliances, power tools, electronics, you name it. So when people say F China, they don't know what they're talking about. Because we have such a dependency on it. It's going to take a long time to wean off that. It's not going to happen overnight. Even if you built manufacturing here, that takes time to counter it. And it's still because of the wage differences. But look, apparel and textiles, furniture, electronics and machinery, home appliances, toys and sporting goods, all this. And you could see consumer prices jumping up by 40%. This is the shit that people need to understand. They got to get this shit figured out. Mr. Taco can't threaten one day and then pull back the next day. Because China's not having it. Because they can play the game too. And I don't think people realize that. Is this what you want to do? You want to have a trade war with China? Really? Like, really? I don't know. China said, what? You want to do what? 100% increase on tariffs? He uses tariffs like a weaponization ploy against countries. And China said, okay, you want to play that game? We got one too. It's called rare earth minerals. We're going to add a tariff to that. And you're going to have to pay us now. Because we're dependent on it. And they know it. And we know it. That's why he backed down. So, careful. Be very careful. What is it, Mom? Why do I gotta check on Tycho? Is he sick? Did something happen?
Last time it happened like that.
What happened?
It's not moving like that.
He's sleeping.
Check on him.
Tycho, you wanna go outside?
Yeah.
Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Wanna go? He was sleeping. My papi needs. My Caracas. Tabacos. Anyway, I'm done. I'm gonna play this for a little while because I gotta do a show and I gotta cook. I got things to do. What's going on, KJ? I was watching you. Yes, KJ. I mean, I can put up stats after stats, data. I kind of agree with the things you're saying on TikTok. But let me see if I could find this little stat. See, these are the things the public doesn't pay attention to. They just watch the news and they rah-rah all day long, left or right. It's just ridiculous. They're hurting themselves. Look at this one. Here's an interesting chart. Look at this. And let me see if I find the chart. I gotta do, and I can't do any time. I gotta do past week. I'm trying. And it's because a large number of them do. You ready? Here's some facts. Facts. MAGA. Yeah, MAGA. You need to pay attention. Republicans should love Obamacare. Their voters rely on it. That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene is noticing it in her district. She's not saying it because she's a turncoat and she's turned rhino. More than half of the ACA marketplace enrollees live in Republican congressional districts. And even that undersells it. You hear more than half and think 51%, maybe 52%. It's in reality 57%, and that's not a slim majority. And if you look at it, nearly 60% of ACA marketplace enrollees live in GOP districts. So who the fuck are they hurting? Look, you know where she's from, Georgia. Deep. It's hurting her constituents. But they're going along with it. And what did I say a few weeks ago, or like a couple of months ago? They're doing it to try to undermine the ACA. They're trying to find another way to kill this. That's what this is all about. It's more than just what you see on the surface. They're trying to gut it from within to say, this doesn't work anymore. It's costing people too much money. The premiums are up. We've got to do something about it and get rid of it. That's what this builds up to. Don't look at the small picture of where we're at right now. What is the real mission here? Long term. Not short term. Long term. That's what it is. They're trying to destroy it from within. Let's call it defunding it and having people pay more. Because the enrollment starts soon. It's a window. Let's see how long they hold out when that enrollment kicks in. That could be why both sides are waiting. Will they bluff and keep it going? Or are they going to hit the fan when people start to try to enroll? They get letters that their premiums are going up because of the Republican cost in the big, beautiful, ugly bill. This is where the root of it is. Right there. And also swearing in the 218th vote that will be the deciding vote for the Epstein files. That's a big one too. That's just a sidebar, but that's a big part too. Because once she signed in, we want them. And they know it. They know it. They're really, you know, we hear all this shit about past administrations. This smells like the biggest cover-up to protect the president or somebody in the cabinet or some of his rich billionaire buddies, whoever it is. Because they were so excited when they got that and were showing it in front of the White House. Oh, we've got it. We got it from the Southern District of New York. We've got all the Epstein information. And then crickets. What was in there? Oh, what happened? You were so excited. You talked about this shit for almost 10 years. It's a big cabal. It's a bunch of Democrat liberal pedophiles. Ooh, wait. Is it? Is it really? Conspiracy theorists? What are you saying now? And then, you used to hear, oh, Biden likes to touch this. Oh, that could be the least. That could be the least compared to what it could be potentially here. This could be they are doing a lot to cover this up and protect it from coming out. They are doing a lot. I wonder why. Does anybody question why? When they were so excited, Bondi, Kash Patel, Bungi, whatever his name is, Dan Bongino, whatever his name is, they were all excited. The excitement disappeared and it became crickets because they knew a name was in it, or names that wasn't part of their agenda to attack the liberals. Now, I'm sure there probably are liberals on that list too, because it's across the board. But I will say this, the excuse is going to be, well, at that time, Trump was a Democrat. Or he didn't know. But if he is the informant back in, because another thing they let out, and people may have not caught it, President Trump provided us information back in the early 2000s when they had the case in Florida against Epstein. So was he a rat? Did he say something that he observed in Epstein's house or something? That means, did he know what was going on and said nothing? Like a lot of them probably did. They knew, but they didn't say anything. They knew what was going on, but they said nothing. So this could get really cray-cray. But they don't want to swear her in anytime soon because they know it's coming to the floor immediately for a vote. There's a lot of shit going on. And like I said, that comment he made yesterday with the Egyptian president, with the crooked Hillary thing back in 2016, you need to look more into that. Because all of a sudden, $10 million was put into the Trump campaign when they were short on money. They were running out of funding. This is before Elon helped. And where do you think that 10 million came from? After he sat down in a meeting with the Egyptian president, which people were like, why is he meeting with the Egyptian president? All of a sudden, $10 million. And they took out of the Egyptian bank $10 million in freaking cash in bags that weighed close to 200 fucking pounds. Did he take money from a foreign country during his campaign? That's against the law. Did Melendez, whatever his name, from Jersey, go to jail because he took bribes from a foreign government and gold bars and all kinds of stuff? So if people want to talk, you better look at all the stuff going on before you open your mouths and go rah-rah, either left or right. There's a lot of shit going on out there with both parties. Corruption everywhere. Both. Not one, both. The Jersey Democrat. Jail. A lot of other shit is show, too, to please base. And it has no merit, very little. It may not even go to a jury. That's how ridiculous it is. But they have to do it so their rah-rah base can get excited. Throw the meat out. That's what that is. And they love it. I mean, when you look at things from a logical, rational, in-depth view of things, there's a lot more than what you see on the surface in the media. Now that's old. this is. Let me see if there's any newer articles. Okay. In 2016, allegations arose that the Egyptian government attempted to funnel $10 million in cash to Donald Trump's presidential campaign, which led to a secret investigation by the DOJ. The investigation was reportedly closed by then Attorney General Bill Barr due to insufficient evidence. Bullshit. And this was what happened yesterday. He rambled, like he always does, talking about crime in Egypt. Well, we're going to become like Egypt now? Is a dictator? That's what you admire, right? That's what you want us to become? United States, like Egypt? He actually brought it up yesterday. Like, he was praising the Egyptian president. And then he brings up crooked Hillary Clinton, 2016. How they met. They did meet privately. And money. Let's see. I'm trying to find the post. Oh, freak. A lot of it, of course, is the great news that happened yesterday. All the hostages released. Well, the 20 that were left. And let's not forget that the initial release was over 100 under Biden. There was a ceasefire at one point under Biden. Toward the end of his administration, more hostages were released. But Trump crossed that finish line and got the rest released. So both deserve credit for getting the hostages out. Let's not forget that. Because people, forget, short-term memory. But he said it yesterday, and now people are wondering, what is this thing now with Egypt and the benefits they had once his administration was in office in 2017 and the benefits that Egypt had because of that. So there's a lot of questions, a lot of shady things. You want to talk about cover-ups? They closed that case. Barr closed that. And everything, of course, is, I can't find the articles because everything I look for is talking about, of course, what happened yesterday. Okay, here is more. I found some information on this. So here is the interesting details of this. People may not be aware of this. In January 2017, just days before Donald Trump was inaugurated as president, nearly $10 million was withdrawn from the National Bank of Egypt. This transaction, hold on, I'm in activity due here. This transaction has raised significant concerns regarding its potential connection to Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. Key details. The amount, $10 million. Timing, the withdrawal occurred on January 15, 2017, just 5 days before Trump's inauguration. The funds were linked to Egypt's national security apparatus and were reportedly intended to support Trump's campaign. It was withdrawn in cash, in bags that weighed up to 200 pounds. There was no wire transfer. There was no way to follow the money. The Department of Justice investigation was initiated following intelligence suggesting that the Egyptian president sought to funnel this money to Trump's campaign. However, the investigation was closed by then attorney Bill Barr due to a lack of sufficient evidence. Oh, okay. Because remember, Barr was dedicated to Trump at the beginning until there was a fallout and he told him to resign, which he did. House Democrats have requested Trump to provide proof that he did not accept this money, emphasizing the need for transparency. The current status of this is the allegations surrounding the $10 million withdrawal remains contentious, with ongoing discussions about the implications of foreign contributions to U.S. political campaigns. The matter has resurfaced in political discourse because he brought it up. He brought up Crooked Hillary yesterday during his campaign, how the Egyptian president helped him and was a dear friend. Oh my God, he did it to himself yesterday by opening up his mouth when he rambles. He just opened it up again, the can of worms. This is going to be, you're going to hear more about this. He did it to himself because he cannot resist. Particularly as it relates to election integrity and foreign interference. Oh my God. If it's proven that he took $10 million for his campaign from the Egyptian government, that is really bad. And then, what did Egypt get early in 2017 when the administration took office? Ooh, you got to look that one up. They had money that was frozen. It was unfrozen. Oh, you got to look into the details. What was going on? Sometimes it takes, some digging and research to find out information that a lot of people just go based on what they see on the news. I'm trying to find the article that goes back in time. This is the more recent one, 2024. I put in first administration.
Bro,
What?
can I take some chips and one of that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can't find none. Let me put 2017. Because it happened right off the top. I forgot where I found it. Shit. Wow. I found a major document. And I'm saving this PDF. This is from 2017 regarding Egypt. September 29, 2017. U.S. aid to Egypt. It opened up as soon as he was inaugurated. What deal did he make with Egypt? What did they return the favor before during his campaign? And this is payback? Over here. Waiver issued. In August, Secretary Rex Tillerson at the time issued the national security waiver contained in this section, the Consolidated Appropriations Act. This waiver allowed $195 million in withheld fiscal year 2016 foreign military financing funds out of $1.3 billion appropriated to be obligated without the secretary having to certify whether the government of Egypt is taking several steps to advance democracy and human rights. They waived it. They allowed the Egyptian government to get access to that money. Look, the administration also plans to redirect $65.7 million in FMF for Egypt elsewhere. This action is tied to an informal hold placed back then by Leahy over objections that the Egyptian government's human rights. So forget about human rights. That's out now. Dictators are welcomed. Dictators are applauded. Look at this. Obligating $155 million in economic aid. To Egypt. And this all happened. He had a private meeting during his 2016 campaign with the president or dictator of Egypt. Fact. During the campaign, people were like, why is he meeting with him? Just in case he gets elected, which he did. What was that about? And that 10 million. And then the benefits that Egypt received once he got in. And then the case is closed, insufficient evidence by Barr. I don't know. Sounds like could be some shady shit going on right there. So, I don't hear nobody talking about this though. The only reason it got my attention is when I seen what he said. Why would he thank him? He's a great friend. I've known him for a long time. He's been a friend since back when Crooked Hillary campaign. And I was like, why is he bringing up Crooked Hillary now? What's up with that? Then I did some digging and I said, what is this with this relationship with Egypt that goes back? That he considers him a dear friend. And then I started to look into it more. A little digging. And that's an actual document. That's not like some media shit. That's an actual document. Look, it was at the United Nations. This is it. And this was in 2016. At the UN. This is before he was elected. And he sat down with Egypt. No other countries but Egypt. Look. Trump praises autocratic Egyptian leader. September 19, 2016. there's at least one Muslim country Donald Trump has great respect for. And he, during a special meeting on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly, in a strikingly praise-filled summary of the meeting released by his campaign, the Republican was said to express to Sisi his strong support for Egypt's war on terrorism and how, under a Trump administration, the United States of America will be a loyal friend, not simply an ally, that Egypt can count on during the days and years ahead. So, what's up with that? Where's that 10 million? A lot of questions. Why Egypt? Why then? Just Egypt. And why was 10 million taken out in cash 5 days before he was inaugurated? Because guess who put 10 million into the campaign in 2016 when he did not want to put money of his own into the campaign? All of a sudden 10 million showed up. Was that cash to pay him back? The 10 million that he took out of himself? Because you got to think it could be replaced with the cash. Like it never happened. There's a lot of questions with that one. And I'll be surprised if the mainstream media doesn't catch this, like I caught it yesterday. I'll be surprised they don't catch it. And it could happen. They could totally not catch what happened with his mouth. We cannot say for sure, of course. It's speculation. But it is definitely something that needs to be looked into. Obviously, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not going to say without any facts, more facts to say definitively, like a lot of people do, that this person's guilty, this person's not guilty, this person's in the files, this person's not in the files. We don't know. We need more information. We need credible information, not speculation. Let's just put that out there for sure. But it sure does not look good. Especially when it looks like the slips are happening a lot more. This was a big, like, people, and there's so many articles on it. I mean, but not on conservative media sites. But we'll go to the AP. Now that's not recent. I got to go to the more recent. Let's do past day. Because this caught my eye too. Okay, maybe the past day. Let me do past week. Yeah, 2 days ago. Look at this. This is what he said on a social media post. And it's so ridiculous. I don't know if he forgot. Like, could this be the most crazy? If Biden would have said something like this, people would have said, oh, he's definitely losing his mind. Okay? To be fair. Donald Trump falsely says Biden FBI placed agents in January 6 crowds. It wasn't the Biden FBI. It was your FBI. You were the president. They answered to you, not to Biden. He wasn't the president. Yet. You were. Actually, it was Mike Pence that was calling the shots behind the scenes, not you. On the phone. Calling in for support. while you sat and watched your TV and had probably some munchies and watching everything going down. But he actually said that it was Biden's FBI. It wasn't Biden's FBI, it was your FBI. You're the commander-in-chief. That has raised some eyebrows. Like, what the hell is he talking about? What is he talking about? Because you know why? His news source is the far right platforms. That's where our president gets his news from. The far right media. And that's his news. That's his source of information. Not that he reads briefs or listens to people tell him, and especially this administration, they tell him everything he wants to hear. But, my gosh. Like, what? Putin? Did you see that one? Putin took part in World War II? What? Putin was involved in World War II. The things coming out of his mouth are almost scary. Like, what is he talking about? And then to say, wow, you don't have no crime in Egypt. You're doing a great job here. Back home, things are crazy. Oh, so you want us to become like Egypt? That's a dictatorship. Oh, so that's what you want? That's what this is all about? You emulate them? You admire them? This shit is downright cray scary. And I don't know what it's going to take for people to wake up and say, oh shit, what's really going on here? I don't know. 35% is not going to change. The MAGA deep are not changing. The Democrats, they're dug in just as bad on the left. There's extremism on both sides. Let's not get that twisted. When they throw out this phrasing, well, you represent an extreme left media. Well, what the fuck do you think the other side does? Who's in the press corps at the White House? It's mostly conservative MAGA reporters. What are you talking about? That give you these beautiful softball questions when you're doing briefings. You loaded it with your side. Don't talk about that. It's just ridiculous. It is embarrassing. Really. So hopefully people will wake up from a moderate point of view. Not left or right, because they're dug in. Doesn't matter. The Kool-Aid, whether it's blue or red, they're deep into it. I'm looking more from the moderate perspective as an independent. And looking at things, and I'm like saying, what the hell's going on? But he's said some really bizarre things lately that make me say, wow, we were talking about Biden, which is true. Biden was definitely losing it. There's no question. Well, he's showing some signs that he's not so sharp either lately. He opened the door yesterday about that money, $10 million thing that happened with Egypt during his campaign in 2016 and the benefits that Egypt received afterwards and the cash that was taken out of an Egyptian bank. Cash in bags weighing 200 pounds. Cash, 10 million in cash, 5 days before he was inaugurated. He opened himself up to that yesterday by talking about it. I was like, what is he talking about? I was like, why is he bringing that up? He opened himself to it. And remember, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is right, and she's worried about her constituents. The majority, it's like 57%, of people who depend on the Affordable Care Act are in red districts, healthcare. 57%. So there's a lot of things going on. Like today, tariffs were implemented for lumber and furniture. Softwood lumber and upholstered furniture and cabinets, which is going to affect what? The building industry. Homes, new homes being constructed. And Marjorie's right. She owns a construction company and she sees what's going on. that the worst of the worst is one thing, but when you take workers from all these businesses for undocumenteds, they're going to feel that hurt. That's just going to happen. And remember, those people don't get the wages. They don't. They do not get the wages that now you're going to have to pay citizens to work in these same places, because they're going to have to pay more, so everybody's going to have to pay more. But of course, from a MAGA perspective, you can't give them temporary work visas because that's considered amnesty. But the president was going to do it, and then he heard from the base, they freaked out, that's amnesty, and then he changed his tune because he was going to do it until he got that feedback. So there's a lot of things going on. When you look at it in practical, rational, logical terms, it's going to hurt a lot of people, constituents, Republicans. Medicaid, SNAP. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Do the research yourselves. Look up. Don't watch Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, because they're going to tell you a narrative that they want you to hear, whether it's left or right. You're going to be fed that all day long. You're not going to see and decide things objectively by doing the proper research that you should all be doing, because you're being told what you want to hear. And you're all for it, and I get it. But it's good to do some real research and look into things more in depth instead of watching that 24/7 on your TVs, and it's like hypnosis. I would hope that people come more to the moderate center and start looking at things more objectively. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. Both the left and the right are so extreme. I don't think it's going to happen. Not anytime soon. I hope in the future that it becomes more like this. Working together, compromising, listening to each other, working together. Somehow, some way. We're not going to agree on everything, but we have to do what's best for the country. Not a specific group. For the country as a whole. But I don't see that shit happening anytime soon. By either side. Something's going on over here. And again, I'm in a lose-lose situation because I pick on both parties. I'm in a lose-lose situation as an independent. There's, because you're going to pick on both sides and you're going to pick it apart. And there are some really great things like what happened yesterday. It was the president that put this over the finishing line to get the rest of those hostages released. Absolutely. It is the president that is declaring war with these terrorist cartels, which I praise and I love. So at the same time, I may be criticizing certain things, but there's other things that I'm all for. As an independent. Not that everything I agree with any of them or disagree with everything all of them say. I look at it objectively, I listen to what's being said, and I reach my own conclusions. Not by party line. Because if Republicans in these red districts really understood how it's going to affect them, they would definitely put pressure on their representatives to not go along with it because it's hurting them. It's going to hurt them. What's this? Weather-related. Oyster farmers face devastation from increasingly powerful storms. That was that noise. And that was the rumor I was talking about the Giants yesterday. Giants predicted to trade for wide receiver to help Jackson Dart. I said that they might do that. and there's a rumor now going around that they just might. So today, like I said, tariffs go into effect for furniture and lumber. Cabinets, furniture, lumber, softwood. A lot of it has to do with construction of new homes or even remodeling. Shit is going up. It's going to definitely affect the construction industry, especially. People may not know that yet, but it'll reflect in time. I remember when coffee was, the same cup of coffee that I buy was $11, $12. Now it's 18 and change. And prices across the board are going up. Everything. I'm like produce, vegetables, fruits. Now, I don't know if they're using it as an excuse, because that could be. But everything's going up. It's not coming down. Day one, things coming down? Hell no. Everything's going up. Pretty much across the board. And people that are not ignorant or stupid see that when they go shopping and when their costs are going up. When it affects the wallet, electricity, it's not going down. It's going up. That was a lie. I mean, give me a break. Costs are crazy, and they're going up. My friend who works for a utility company, he's a supervisor in New York City. I can get him on the phone right now. Right now. And he's a supervisor for Con Edison in New York City. You know what they're planning? A 10 to 13% increase on their rates next year. So if he's paying $700 to $800 a month during the summer, and now he's got to do heat from the utility company, and they want to raise it by 10 to 13%. So do the math. What is that? 70, 80 bucks at the minimum increase for electricity? What about that? And he's the supervisor. He works for them. And he's telling me what's going on. I don't hear shit from nobody. It's like crickets, quiet. That's the reality. Let me call him. He's a big boss for Con Edison in New York City. But I don't want to misquote. I want to get it straight from him if he picks up. I could call the solar guy. You could hear what he says. What they did with the big, beautiful bill to solar. It's a disgrace. Oh, it's going right to voicemail.
Please leave your message.
I'm actually going to call the owner of a solar company, the one I got mine from over a year ago. I don't know if he'll pick up. I don't know if he'll pick up. He's the owner.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
Good. I got a quick question for you. Are things still hitting the shit fan starting January 1st when it comes to solar in New York?
Yeah, it's lease only already.
Oh.
There's no financing.
They already did it?
Yeah, you can't get installed in time in New York.
Oh, no, yeah, because it wouldn't get... Because me, thank God I got mine last year from you. Thank God, dude. Thank God. But I don't think people realize how the law, what they did with the big, beautiful bill, how it hurt the solar industry so bad.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We're going to be like the last one left standing. So.
Is New York... Because my neighbor put a new roof, and he's moving here next year. I mean, I'm sure he'll be able to still get the panels and pay. Because he's, I don't think he's going to worry about the financing aspect. But is New York...
There's no federal incentive.
I know that because of what happened. But is the state providing any help?
Yeah, they still have really good state incentives, but it depends where he lives.
Well, he lives right next door to me. Right next door to me.
Oh, if he, I don't remember who your utility.
Central Hudson. Central Hudson.
Yeah, it's not going to pencil. You're looking at like a 15-year ROI for cash.
Wow. Well, listen. If any news come up, please keep me abreast through texts and all that. Because I want to also keep people informed.
I mean, just tell them they can lease it.
Yeah.
Financing
financing and cash don't make sense anymore.
Yeah, but I leased them and I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly.
The utilities are going up. My friend works for Con Ed in New York City. Do you do New York City or no?
Yeah, Venture has the 45% market share in the 5 boroughs of the largest solar provider.
Dude.
And
He told me a couple of days ago, he's a supervisor for Con Ed. They're planning to increase their rates 10 to 13%.
yeah, I know, and they're already like 40 cents a kilowatt.
Holy shit, dude. Anyway, I didn't mean to call you. I just wanted to get an update from you for information.
Of course, yeah, no problem. That's why you have my number.
Listen, God bless you and your family. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, and stay in touch if anything comes up new.
Will do, Bill. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye.
He's the owner. And his solar company deals with many states up here. You heard that? Those are the facts on the ground. Politically motivated facts. Because they're all about the fossil fuel industry, not the green. Though it's saving people tons of money. But let's cut that. Because we want people to go more to dependency on the grid and oil and gas. Those are the facts, as you just heard on this call. And you heard him, that's why I have his number, because I can call him anytime. He's the owner of a big fucking solar, which their panels are made in New York. Not in South Korea, not in China. They're manufactured here. Which is another lie that's out there. This is American. Not like the news you hear, oh, they're made in overseas, it's China, it's South Korea, it's whatever, Asia, whatever. Even if Europe. And that's the bullshit that's out there. And look, you can't get financing now because for the federal tax credit, because it's too late. It took me 4 months to get my panels installed, redo my roof, the whole deal. It's too late. There's no projects now that are going to get that federal tax credit because that ends December 31st. Bye-bye, because of the big, beautiful bill. But he said they'll be fine because they still have their ways with the states doing credits for the people. The states are picking up that burden that the federal government said, stuck a finger up. So, they'll be okay. They'll find a way. Especially through leasing, which is what I did. Con Edison is charging almost 40 cents per kilowatt. That's crazy. And they want to charge more for electricity. Do you know how much I pay for a kilowatt? 0. Because I get my solar. The only thing I pay is the lease, $125 a month for 26 panels. And a connection fee to the utility company, $40. I pay $165 solid every month, utility. Do you know how much I would be paying if I was connected to the grid every month? At least $300 to $400. That's facts. Like I told them, don't use the oil. My heating oil is at close to $4 a gallon. It costs $800 to fill that thing. Don't use the oil. Heat up the house with the panels during the day. Because at night you lose that. Because I don't have a battery. Because that's where they get you. Solar batteries. It's so expensive. $20,000 average. That's where the killer is. For solar. But I still can utilize all the daylight, even cloudy days. I'm still getting solar. Even people might wonder, would you get solar on a cloudy day? Oh, yeah, you do. So there's a lot of misinformation that's out there. People don't understand the facts. They just listen to what they hear and they believe everything they're told. Without doing any research. Because before I got the panels, I did a lot of research. I wasn't just going to jump in. That's just stupid. I'm gonna tap into my panels now because I have real-time monitoring. So today, I'm in the negative. Right as of right now. Let me see. Performance, live status. Oh, actually, I'm doing good right now. But not for the whole day yet, because it's early. I am producing right now on a cloudy day 3.1 kilowatts. I'm using 1.2. I'm giving back to the grid 2.0 kilowatts right now on a cloudy day. This is real-time monitoring, live status. I don't know if I could slide this box because it has my private information. I might be able to push this up so you could see it. Maybe. Because it has my personal information on it. I'm trying to figure a way I could show this without sharing personal info. Okay, maybe if I do this and then do this and then push it up to the top of the screen. Why won't it let me do that? Maybe because this box is open. It wants to expand it. I cannot show this screen. It has all my information. That is stupid that I can't stretch it so you can't see it. It automatically blows it up. I hate that. It wants to blow it up. I can't do it because then it's going to show my info. Let me try it a different way. Manage. Status. Today. Today so far is bad because it's cloudy. Let me do the month. I really want to show it, but I can't show it. So far for this month, I've used, taken from the grid, 39 kilowatts. So I haven't produced as much as I've used so far this month. I can screenshot that. So far. But the weather hasn't been good either, which means less sunlight. But compared to what it could be, now my electric bill might go up by $40. Still saving a lot. Let me bring this down. So here's the PDF, screenshot of this month so far. That's so far in October. I've consumed more than I've produced. See, exported. I produced 297, but I used 336. So I'm in the red by 39 kilowatts, which is nothing. If you spend 20 cents per kilowatt, do the math. I don't want to spend anything on kilowatts from the grid. Just say it's 20 cents. You do the math per kilowatt. So 5 is $1. It's 39. So I'm what is it? $8 so far that I got to pay the utility company. And this will change. The balance will change because it's been cloudy and nasty the last few days. You know, sunlight. Today's only the 14th. So this will fluctuate. But I'm not getting all that electricity from the grid. That's when it adds up. When you're talking 800, 900 kilowatts from the grid. That's when that shit adds up. So if I did September, the whole month, because September's done. Let's check September. And this is like real-time stats. This is not... I have 26 panels. So I did really good last month. Overall. I'm going to take a screenshot. And September was warm toward the end, but it wasn't warm in the beginning. Facts matter, not bullshit speculation and opinions when they don't know the facts. That's the scary part, that people just don't know. They think they know, but they don't know. Unless you experience it yourself. So last month, updated 1 minute ago, I just took this screenshot. I consumed 671 kilowatts. I produced 845. Now this number here is the balance, nighttime, daytime. But the overall is I gave the utility company 173 kilowatts for last month. I was in the plus. Not in the red. So what did I pay the utility company for electricity? Zero. Nothing. They got not a penny from me. Only the connection fee. That's all they got. Now say my power production didn't meet my needs. Let's just say my production is not meeting the criteria to produce to equal out. Guess what they do? They come in, and because they monitor it too, they come in and put another panel or two. They'll notify me and tell me, listen, you're not producing enough. Your bill, you're still using the utility. And they'll come and put more. Anything that happens to these panels, they fix for free. No cost to me. Like I said, I pay $125 a month for lease. And I pay freaking $40 for a connection fee. That's so retarded. They raised that up too. It used to be 25. They went up to 40. And if you were not here, you heard the conversation with the owner of the solar company that provided my power. He told you what's going on. It's cray-cray. Reality's a biatch. Reality's a bitch. But people are going to start to feel it. And until they feel it, that's when they know. But they may not say nothing and accept it and swallow it because they know it contradicts everything that they support. They look at it as a self-sacrifice for the better good, the whole of a movement. What about the other people around you, your community, your neighbors? Are they as comfortable with that as you are? Seniors, other people in other positions? Look at this. Here it is. This is what my friend was talking about in Con Edison. He works for them. He told me this on the phone 3 days ago. Look. He's a boss. He's a boss for them. This is the utility company in New York City. Con Edison proposes double-digit rate hike for 2026. Double-digit. And what did I say? I said 10 to 13%. Actually, here it's 11.4 to 13.3. It's even higher than I thought. What did it cost? Look what they'll make. Profit. The increase would amount to around 1.6 billion more in electric revenue and 440 million in gas revenue. And they are huge. Con Edison is freaking huge. It supports the power for the entire series and surrounding suburbs. It's one of the biggest in the country. And they want to raise their prices by 11 to 13% to their customers. And they'll say they need it for the infrastructure. For the electrical infrastructure, repairs, maintenance, whatever. Of course, it costs them more. They got to... Who pays when they need to do things? Who's going to pay? The consumer's going to pay, like everything else. Proposes double-digit rate hike for 2026. So if you pay $100, they could go up by 10. Nobody has. I don't know anybody who has a $100 bill. If you pay $300, it's going up by 30, 35. Still money. The promise of lowering prices for electricity, they're not paying attention to what he says. Do you think they really do? They're going to do what they have to do. He can talk all the talk he thinks he knows. But that's not reality. It's a reality check. Or a fact check. They're not lowering prices. They're raising it here. They're raising it everywhere. So again, more BS, more bullshit. A lot of things. The incentives for electric cars, vehicles. I wonder what Elon thinks about that one. There's a lot of stuff going on that it's in the devil's in the details. And I don't think a lot of people know what the details are. They go along with everything. They don't question it. I question it all. Like I said, thank God gas has maintained a steady price over the last 5 or so years. Yeah, it went up a little to $3.20, $3.30, then it comes back down below $3. If the gas, what is it, Ma?
I can't believe this girl.
If gas hits $4,
He's so intelligent.
if gas hits $4, oil goes up by $1. So that's $5 a gallon for heating oil. For a 200-gallon tank, that's $1,000 to have an oil delivery to heat your home. Oh, but we love fossil fuel, don't we? Natural gas, coal, fossil oil.
Belito,
Oh, we love it. We hate green.
Bill,
What?
he came from the room over there,
Uh-huh.
and look at him right now.
So,
He's too much.
facts matter.
This dog is too much.
Not opinions, not speculation. Facts matter.
So beautiful. God bless you. Oh my God.
Math matters,
Feel like squeezing him.
especially when the math doesn't add up. For everyday consumers.
Too much.
I mean, what is one of the biggest things that people are concerned about? The economy. Healthcare. Those are always big campaign obligations to run on. And of course, the border, foreign policy, there's other areas. But the two top is usually the economy and healthcare. Because that affects everyday people. It doesn't matter your political affiliation. It affects us all. So, and I'll say one more thing because I got to go do a pre-record. I would like to see okay, this is September 11th. This is garbage. This is a organization. This is old. I gotta look at more. Let me look at past week. I'm trying to find, that's his overall. I'm trying to find it. It's not that easy. Without using media bias sites like Fox or CNN, it's hard to find. It really is. I can't even find it. Okay, here's one. But that's the same one I just seen. Where is it? Okay, this is like the latest one, and I'm gonna bookmark this so I don't lose it. But I'm looking for a specific group, independents. That's the shit. This one uses Variety, and I'm not big on polls. Hell no. I'm gonna state that right off the bat. But he's at 44% based on the overall with all the polls. But he's all these different polls. See them? And this is policies. Even on immigration, the majority are, look how many people disapprove of the economy, which was a strong point. And look how low it was here. And the approval is going down with the economy. The disapproval is going up generally. I'm looking for the independence line. That's what I was trying to find. So he's bottoming out on a lot of important things. Look when he got elected. Look how high he was. Look at the polling, all trending down. And this is taking multiple polls and compiling them together, whether they're conservative, liberal, supposedly independent. It's not good. But I was trying to find the independent because the independent polls are really bad for the Republicans right now. They're not good. They're double digits in the negative. That's bad when you're talking about an election because you have to. It's not just blue and red voting. It's those independents. Where are they swaying right now? What are they feeling right now? What are they thinking? Right now, they're not thinking too good. So look at the trends. What's going on? Again, the MAGA is going to support it like a prophet, the savior. They're dug in. The liberals are dug in with their movement, whatever the hell they're doing, because I don't even know what the hell they're doing. They don't even have real leadership on that side, in my opinion. Who do they have? But what are the independents thinking about what's going on right now with the economy, with the healthcare issue, immigration? Because, you know, a lot of people are seeing what a lot of us are seeing, the militarization on our streets in our cities, blue cities, and a vast majority. I don't. What's going on?
How much do you want for making the intro? I got the logo done.
Oh, I'm still live. I'll call you back later.
All right, bye.
Bye. So that's going to be really important moving forward. It depends on how the country moves forward in the next year. That's pretty much what it's going to come down to. The next year will determine. And we'll see where we're at. Because it's way too early to look at polls. They fluctuate all the time. And polls, I mean, they're polls. How much worth do you take in a poll? I don't take much. But when you see all these polls trending a certain way, compiled, that has to raise some eyebrows. You know what I mean? It raises concerns. Because they know that they need those independents to get over the finish line. They need them. Either one. Left or right. They need it. They need that independent vote. Alexa, how much do independents make up of the voting in the United States?
As of 2024, 34.7 million voters registered as independents, making up about 28% of registered voters across states that report this data. However, when considering all Americans, 51% identify as independent, surpassing both Democrats and Republicans.
Because a lot of people can still be moderate or liberal, but yet declare themselves as independent. But they still lean a certain way. But you're talking in a close race. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. The thing is, in a close race between Democrats and Republicans, what's going to put them over that finish line are the independents. What do they do? It doesn't matter if because they're moderates. That's what it comes down to. An independent is a person that they consider.
I understand your
Alexa, stop. An independent is a person who considers themselves more of a moderate, whether they lean right or left. They consider themselves more moderate. Where do they go? And if it's a close race, that could put that person, whether they're red or blue, over the finish line. That's why it's important. And that can make a power tilt the scales. And you don't think they don't look at this? Of course they do. They have think tanks. They look at all this. They're watching this. They know. And that's the thing. Like Susie says, are there any potential future candidates yet? I have no clue what, and like I said, I'm an independent. I'm in the middle. When I lived in New York City, I was a Democrat. I moved here 20 years ago. I started to come definitely more to the center. I live in a Republican county, district. You live here 20 years, you adapt and, different, but it's absolutely based on my personal interest on what goes on in my community and my area. Like, I crossed the party lines. Republican, I just did. And then there's another one coming up now. Republican for the school district. Democrat, like many of the red people here voted for the House. How often do you see a red district vote for a Democrat? It happened here with Pat Ryan, who's a veteran, West Point graduate. We voted for him twice. Republicans voted for him because they're moderates up here. They're not extremists. You're going to always have extremists for both sides everywhere. But generally speaking, it's a moderate area. Moderate thinking. You go to other places, it's whatever it is. Like New York City. New York City's blue. And that throws the balance off for the entire state. Because other than these big cities, I mean, they have a lot of representation for the whole state in their voting. But there's other cities in New York that are big liberal cities. Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse. A lot of the rural areas like mine are red. But they can, all those rural areas, it's hard for them to match up to the bigger populous areas. That's why you're seeing gerrymandering going on, because they want to take that away, spread it, create the more of a balance by adding more red to counter the blue in the cities. That's what they do. So that they will win. Even considering those big votes, a lot of those votes that happen in those big blue cities, they counter it by extending the lines to include more red to counter the blue, to redistrict it and redraw the lines. That's what that's about. And that's the sad part too. It's almost like, not who's going to be best, but who will do the least amount of worse. That's never a good deal. To vote for somebody like that. I need to go. I got to go do a pre-record. But it's complicated. It's not simple. It's not. Anybody who thinks it's simple, it's not. And that's why you have to do your homework and vote for the person that's best going to represent your interests, your personal interests, which includes the economy, which includes healthcare, which includes safety in your neighborhoods, which includes infrastructure in your neighborhoods. Everything. You have to put all that on the table and vote for the person that you think is going to do it, not somebody who's going to lie and go with party line and then screw you at the end and screw your interests. I'm going along with everything. What? That's not what I voted for. And that's what people are feeling right now. That's not what I voted for. And that's why the pendulum is going to swing, most likely, and there's going to be a shift. Because people are saying, what the F? It's just not. It's not what I wanted. And that's a wake-up call. But some people are so dug in, it doesn't matter. Because they're just not being objective. So we'll see. All I know is, for me personally, we have to become a unified country. We have to come together. This bullshit attacking each side, calling this one extreme right or extreme left, radicals, socialists, dictators, communists, fascists. All this rhetoric does not fucking help. Because people stay divided. We have to find a way to communicate, listen to each other, talk to each other, understand the other side's points of view. Of course, you don't have to agree with it, but do it respectfully and come up with some kind of compromise conclusion. Not the way it is today. It's worse than ever. I guarantee if you ask people today and you say, do you think we're ever going to come back together as diverse as we are? A lot of people are going to say, I think we're at a point of no return right now. if they were to be honest, this shit is batshit crazy. Regardless of what party you're with, you cannot say that you have never seen it this bad ever, because I've never, in all my years, I've never seen it this bad. Never. And there's always been, it's politics. There's always been disagreements on policies. That's democracy. It should be that way, but not like this. Declaring other people the enemy and fellow citizens the enemy within. Bringing the military on our streets. That's not their job. Now, it can be used in federal buildings to protect, for sure. Unlike certain things that happened in the past and they weren't called in until it was too late. But, but this shit is cray-cray. What's going on? And I like I said, do people really understand how crazy it is? Anyway, love to everyone. I'm all about bringing people together, talking to each other, respecting each other, even though they differ in my opinion or anybody's opinion. It's about respect and talking to each other and listening to each other and understanding our points of view, whether you may not like it. That's okay. It's okay. But it's good to have a discussion. A civil discussion. A respectful discussion. Instead of calling the other one the enemy. Oh, we're going to get our revenge. Vengeance, baby. Vengeance. Come on. That's negative. That's horrible. Not to be celebrated. To be denounced. That's not the way it should be. We are our own worst enemy. We really are. And it's sad. Anyway, I'm going. I got to go to work like right now. Susie, KJ, anybody watching on TikTok, have a great rest of your day. Those which probably are zero on the other platforms because they hate this kind of conversation when I talk like this.